Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Monday, May 22nd. Welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. As always, I do appreciate the support. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Makes a huge difference. So anyways, let's start off as normal. We're going to look at the US dollar DXY analysis all the way from the monthly down to the 1 hour time frame, do the full top-down analysis. Then we're going to apply whatever information we learned from analyzing the dollar, and we're going to use that to help us trade all these other dollar pairs, including gold. Then we'll probably look at oil, we'll look at natural gas, we'll probably look at all the yen pairs pretty much, and probably Bitcoin and a few other things. So definitely, as always, thanks for coming, and welcome to today's live stream. So we may as well get started right away. So looking at the DXY, I still do like to zoom out a little bit during these live streams to kind of show people what it is that I'm seeing, but I still see what looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks to me like 3 waves down for a B, and it looks like an uptrend for a wave C. So if this right here is an ABC crescent, it definitely made a lower high, it made a lower high, it made another lower high, so 3 lower highs in a row. And it definitely looks like it is respecting a Fibonacci level in between the 78 and 88% Fibonacci. Nice big impulsive move down. If this was like the 1 hour time frame, I would be entering short right now, because if this really is the end of an ABC crescent, then this will be continuing the downtrend and probably eventually end up looking something like that. So if that's the case, let's zoom back in here a little bit. So if that's the case, that this really is the end of an ABC crescent, which we do have a structure break to the downside, so it should be the end of a crescent. That means that this will end up continuing the downtrend. That does not mean that there will not be some big rallies on shorter time frames, but it does mean that on the higher time frames like the weekly and monthly, it will continue to make lower lows and lower highs. Hey Quizzy, how's it going? Hey Hafiz, hello, thanks for coming. Robin, Lamy, thanks for coming, appreciate the support. So going down to the weekly, I do like to switch back to the dollar index because I do trust that one much more. So on the weekly time frame, dollar index, I do think this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably a wave 1. It could be a wave A, but I do think it is a 1. I think this is an A, B, and now we're going up for a wave C. So most likely this is an ABC of 2, but it could possibly be a B. And then the next move down, I think, is going to be a big wave C, which will just keep on going down like I was showing on the monthly. But if it does turn out to be a wave C, then we'll be able to recognize that with an impulsive move up, a break of structure around this time frame, maybe a little bit shorter, for the end of a trend for a wave C and the continuation of an uptrend. I still think it's going to be a 1, I think it's going to be a 2, and I think it's going to keep going down for a wave 3, because this to me looks like the end of an ABC crescent. So let's take it down to the daily time frame, because on the daily is where we can start to break this thing down a little bit. We see a nice uptrend, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, most likely an A. This looks like a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, which is a wave A, a B. 3 waves up for the B, a B, and another downtrend for the C, a B. I think that we're now going up for a wave C. Most wave Cs do take out the high of wave A, so that means that this is most likely going to keep on going up. It's probably going to go up and take out this high and end up looking something like that, maybe even a little higher before it actually breaks structure to the downside and then ends up continuing the downtrend. Probably an ABC of 2, probably a wave 1 over here, and then probably a big wave 3. So now let's take a look at that on the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, as you can see, this is where I believe we have the end of an ABC of B. Now really the last major structure level for me actually is way down here, even though I have this marked, because this right here I think is like a 1, 2, and this is all just a subdivision of a much bigger trend. So maybe it will end up going down a little bit more, but I think it is more likely to just keep on making those higher highs, higher lows. I think even if it does go down, it's just going to be part of a crescent to the uptrend. It's just going to keep on going up. And really there's no proof that it is even going to go down. It very easily could just keep on trending up and making them higher highs and higher lows. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, it definitely does look like a downtrend right here, almost like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It still could end up being a wave A, but I actually am seeing this maybe as a wave B right here, and maybe this push down is the wave C, and maybe we're already going up for the continuation of the uptrend. Now it does kind of look more like this is a trend right here, like an A, and then maybe this is like the A, B, C, or B, and then it's going to go down and make a C before it actually ends up continuing the uptrend. So we definitely do have a couple possibilities. Either one, it's just going to keep on trending up like this because the trend is up and it really could just keep on going up at any time. Or the other possibility is that this is a wave B. If this is a wave B, then it will turn down, it will take out structure, proving that that is a correction and that it is going back down for a wave C. So as of now, with no structure break to the downside, I am definitely still bullish. Even though the candles are pulling back a little, I still think there's a very good chance this is going to just keep on going up, making higher highs, higher lows until the market proves me otherwise by breaking structure to the downside, which it definitely has not done so yet. So I am for sure still looking for longs in an uptrend, or shorts on these other pairs, or longs on these pairs. So let's go to the euro dollar and let's head up to the daily time frame, and we'll work our way down from there. So on the daily time frame is where you can see what I think is a 1, ABC of 2, this is a 3, ABC of 4, and then a wave 5. I think this is all like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. I think this is a downtrend right here for the wave A. I think even though this is a higher high right here, higher high, higher high, I think it's an irregular top or an irregular wave B. And I think that we're going down for a wave C, which I don't think the wave C is over. I think it's more likely to go down to the 78, maybe the 100, or maybe even the 123. So we're going to have to watch as it goes to see where we can identify the end of a trend on the shorter time frames for the end of a wave C and the continuation of the uptrend. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, I guess our last real structure level is right here. I would consider this up here the last important structure, the one that's really going to tell us that this trend really is over. I still think there's a good likelihood this move up is a correction, and I still think there's a good likelihood that it is going to end up continuing down until it goes up and actually starts breaking some structure to the upside. I am definitely looking for shorts in a downtrend. And the New York session just opened about an hour or so ago, so we definitely could get a sorting opportunity. Now I was looking at this a little while ago right before the meeting thinking that we may be ending an ABC right now today. It is definitely an uptrend. It looks like an A. It looks like 3 ways down for the B, and it does look like it went back up to retest that 78% and made an impulsive move down. Really don't have much of a structure break to the downside yet, so we really can't say for sure. We almost have to go down to a shorter time frame to see it. Yeah, it doesn't really have much of a structure break. I guess it does have a structure break there, so maybe that is it. If that is the end of an ABC correction, then it will start trending down. Like I said, the trend is definitely down on all the higher time frames, so I am personally just going to continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. I see 3 waves up, I see an impulsive move down. Really, if this candle closes down like that, I would take that as a short, and most likely it will continue the downtrend. So let's go check out the pound dollar. Pound dollar is a little different, but it still looks like it could be ending an ABC correction. Let's head back up to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, I think this is very similar to the euro. It looks like a 1, it looks like an ABC of 2, looks like a 3, 4, and 5. I think this is a 1 of a big uptrend on the weekly and monthly. I think this right here is like a wave A. I think this is an A, B, C, or B. And yes, this is a way higher high than this, but looking at other dollar pairs and knowing about the irregular top or the irregular wave B, I do think this is most likely a wave B. I think this is most likely in a downtrend. It's probably not over yet. Most of the time wave C's do go to the 100% Fibonacci extension, but with this irregular wave B up here, you can tell that the pound is strong, so it definitely could turn at one of these higher levels, break structure to the upside, and end up continuing that uptrend. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame so far, yes, it is very overlapping, it is very messy, but it is making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. To me, the trend is definitely down, and to me, it is more likely that it is going to continue down, at least until we have proof otherwise by seeing some sort of a structure break to the upside, which we definitely have not seen yet. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, just like the euro dollar, I was looking at this as possibly ending a correction, but if it closes a candle with a big spike like that, that's going to neglect that idea. But it does look like an uptrend, like a wave A. It definitely made 3 waves down right there. It looks like a wave B, and then it looks like it's trying to make a wave C, like an irregular wave C, because the wave C so far has not taken out the high of wave A. Most wave C's do take out the high of wave A, but they definitely don't always. If that is the end of an ABC correction, then it will end up continuing the downtrend. So if it does close, down here someplace, then I would definitely take that as a sorting opportunity for a possible end of a correction and the continuation of the downtrend. Aussie dollar, let's head back up to a little bit of a longer time frame. The Aussie dollar looks to me more like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a 1. Maybe a wave A, we don't really know for sure. This looks like an A, 3 waves down for the B, and an uptrend for the C. So this is probably like an ABC of 2, or possibly a wave B. And then if that's true, then that means that this is also in a downtrend, which is probably going to go down to at least one of these levels. If it's a wave C, then it will probably turn it to 78 or the 100, make an impulsive move up, take out structure, and continue the uptrend. If it's a wave 3, which it definitely could be, then it will probably bounce off some of these fibs, but it will never take out structure to the upside, and instead it will just keep on making lower lows and lower highs. So let's keep that in mind. Let's head down to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is just like the other ones. It is so far making lower lows, lower highs. Pretty much the whole way down. Got a little bit of a double top right there, but so far it is pretty much making lower lows, lower highs. And I think that it is more inclined that this is just going to keep on trending down. So I was saying last week that this looks like 3 waves down. Maybe that's a wave B, and that this move up right here is a wave C, and this was a wave A. That's like an irregular bottom, possibly. If that's the case, then this has already ended a correction, and it's already continuing the downtrend, which is definitely a possibility. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, it definitely did make a little bit of a 3-way pattern down, but that's not very impulsive up. If that was the end of a correction, then it needs to be trending like that. Instead, it looks like it's making overlapping corrective waves, like it's going to make a lower high, lower high, lower high, and just keep on trending down. So just like the other ones, I'm definitely looking for sorts in a downtrend on this, and I do expect that the trend is probably more likely to just keep on trending down. So we are definitely still looking for sorts in a downtrend for sure. So let's check out the Kiwi dollar, very correlated to the Aussie dollar. So let's see what kind of clues we can get from this one. So the Aussie dollar back up, the Kiwi dollar back up on the daily, looks like a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably is a wave 1, just like the other one, or possibly a wave A. Doesn't really matter to us whether it's a 1 or an A. Then we have an A, 3 ways down for the B, and an uptrend for a C. Probably an ABC of 2, or maybe even an ABC of B. Definitely doesn't really matter either way, because either way, if it's a C or whether it's a wave 3, then it would end up continuing the downtrend. A wave C would probably look like that, go down to about the 100%, and then turn up and continue up. A wave 3 would probably bounce off some of these fib levels, but it'll just keep making lower lows, lower highs, and just keep on trending down. So as of now, we don't really know whether it's a C or whether it's a 3, and it definitely doesn't matter to me whether it's a C or a 3, because it's pretty much exactly the same trading strategy. Going to the Kiwi dollar sort of time frames, the 4 hour, this looks like an impulsive wave 1. This looks like an A, B, C, probably a wave 2. Now, we are definitely respecting this fib level. We almost touched the 61.8, so if we see an impulsive move down, if we see a break of structure, that's what's going to tell me that it's the end of a wave 2 and that we're back into the downtrend for the continuation of either a wave 3 or possibly a wave C. So 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, definitely not convincing that it's going down yet, but as you can see, price is really struggling to break out of this 50% area. So if price does turn down, if it does clearly break structure to the downside, that's what's going to tell me this is the end of a correction, and at that point I would definitely be ready to go short, and I would be ready to start looking for shorts at the end of ABC pullbacks for the continuation of this downtrend. So US dollar Canadian, let's head back up to the daily. So US dollar Canadian, this right here to me looks like a downtrend, like an A. This looks like an A, B, C of B. And this looks like almost a perfect downtrend right there for a wave C. Impulsive up, break of structure, and then 3 waves down. And a little bit of a higher low right there. Not much, but a little bit of a higher low. I think that this also is back into an uptrend. And I think this has a pretty decent amount of ways to go. Maybe it'll just go back up to these highs. Maybe it will go up to those weekly, monthly highs. We're just going to have to watch and see and pay attention to structure as it goes. So let's head down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we definitely have 3 waves down right here. It looks like an ABC, unless this right here is the failed wave 5 right there, which it definitely could be. And then we have impulsive up, we have a break of structure, then we have what looks like 3 waves down again. We have a higher low, higher low, higher low. It's still making higher lows, telling me that the trend is still up, and really we need to just continue to look for longs at the end of any pullbacks that we may see, especially on these shorter time frames. So we're looking for pullbacks, I'm looking for longs, and I'm only looking to go long at the end of ABC pullbacks. 1-hour time frame, so on these shorter time frames, really all I'm concerned about is looking for pullbacks. If I see some sort of a 3-way pullback, I go long, 3 ways down, long. Yeah, really, there wasn't one now, but back here it definitely looked like 3 ways down. Even this right here looked like 3 ways down. So I'm looking for longs according to the longer time frames, and according to the longer time frames, there's definitely no reason to do anything besides continue to look for longs at the end of ABC pullbacks. So like I said, I'm definitely still looking for longs, and I'm definitely still looking to go long at the end of ABC pullbacks. US dollar Swiss. Swiss is moving really good today. The Swiss is a risk-on currency, which is probably why it's moving, because the dollar has been going down a little bit, so this is probably the main reason for the Swiss to be moving like that. But I do think that this is like a wave 1. I think this is like an ABC of 2. This definitely looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, and then we have a break of structure. So we know that this section of trend right here is complete. I think this is going to be an ABC, probably go up to one of these higher fib levels before it ends up continuing the downtrend. Probably going to be a crescent to this last move down, probably go up to one of these fibs and just keep on trending. And 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, we do have a break of structure to the downside, as you can see, which proves to me that this whole setting up is over. I think this whole setting up may be like a wave A. Maybe this move down is only a wave A also, and then now we're in like a wave B, and then it's going to make a C, probably an ABC, a B, and then probably back up again for that wave C. Probably up to maybe, I think it might go past the 50, maybe to the 60, or maybe even higher to make this ABC correction. So on the shorter time frames, like I said, we do have a break of structure to the downside, and this right here definitely looks to me like a downtrend. So it probably is a wave A. That means that this move up is probably going to be a crescent to this move down, like a wave B, and then it probably will make another push down for a wave C. And then it will probably end up continuing the uptrend. This is probably an A, this is probably an A, B, C, or B, and then it probably goes up to make that bigger wave C like I was showing on the daily time frame. So as of now, like I said, there's really no reason to do anything except for trade with the trend on the longer time frames. And right now, I think we're in a wave B, so wave B is a crescent, so really the thing to be doing now is probably going to be waiting for the end of this wave B to go short again, and then at the end of the wave C you can exit your shorts and then start to go long again for the continuation of the potential uptrend for that bigger wave C. So US dollar yen, the yen is definitely moving today. That's why I know that Swiss movement is caused by risk on, because the yen and the Swiss and even gold are definitely risk on currencies, and the Swiss and the yen are definitely moving today. So looking at the daily time frame, this looks to me like one big downtrend, like a wave 1. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like an A. This looks like 3 ways down, maybe an A, B, C, or B, and it looks like we are continuing up. Probably is a wave C. Probably is going to go up to at least a 61, maybe even to 78% to finish out this move. So if it makes an ABC of 2, turns at one of these fib levels, makes an impulsive move down, takes out structure, that's exactly what I'm looking for the continuation of this downtrend. Probably a 1, probably a 2, and then go down for a wave 3. So let's head down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, as you can see, price is still making higher lows. This right here was our most recent swing, and price did not take that out, and now it's just back into an uptrend. So definitely no reason right now to be thinking anything besides looking for longs in an uptrend. So on the 1-hour time frame, it was a little bit of a tricky correction, but I think this right here is probably the wave 5, and then this is actually the ABC right here, and then that impulsive move up right there was the end of a correction. It made a higher low, as you can see, another higher low. Now it looks like a 1-2, and then this is probably in a wave 3, which is probably not even over yet. Probably eventually going to go up and make a 3, 4, and 5. So I'm definitely looking for longs on this, just like I'm looking for longs on all the yen pairs for the continuation of this uptrend. And gold, what's gold up to? Gold is going down. Let's see if this does turn out to be a wave B or not. We'll have to see. Wait and see if it does. It is definitely looking like a wave B. So let's head back up to the higher time frames. So I think gold is going to go back up on like the weekly and the monthly, but on the shorter time frames, I do believe that we are going down, and I actually still think that, especially looking at the dollar index, I think this right here is a wave A. I think this is 1, 2, 3 waves up for a B, an irregular top, or an irregular wave B. Usually when you see irregular tops or irregular wave Bs, it actually means that the trend is strong, which means that when this right here is over with, which at this point it probably is going to go down to about the 50% level, but once that is over with, it's probably going to blast off to the upside with a big uptrend. I think we're headed up to $2,300 on this one pretty easily. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, what do we got? So on the 4-hour, I think this here is probably a 1. I think this is probably an ABC of 2. I think this is a series of lower lows, lower highs, probably a wave 3. I still think there's a good chance this is an A, and that this move down is probably a B, and that it probably goes up again to make a C, probably an ABC of 4, and then it goes down again to make a wave 5. And it might even go down, just like I was showing on the longer time frames, down to like that 50% level, which you kind of have to squish it down a little to see that. But it's probably going to end up looking something like this, I bet, to finish off this trend. And then it'll probably go up, break struts it to the upside, and end up continuing that uptrend. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame while we keep that in mind. So the trend is definitely down, and just like the other dollar pairs, we may actually have a wave C right here. It looks like it could be a wave B, but sometimes what you think is a wave B ends up just turning into the continuation of a downtrend, so we have to be a little careful about that. But it definitely looks like it made one move up. I think the move started right here, like that's a wave 5, like an A, then a B, and then this could be a failed wave C. An irregular wave C is like what I call it, and then we're already going down for the continuation of the downtrend. So according to the longer time frames, I'm definitely still looking for shorts in a downtrend. I do think there's a good chance this is a wave C, and I don't think the wave C is over yet, so I'm just going to continue to look for shorts. I definitely would have gone short here today, and then I would have found out if this is a wave B, because if it is, then it will turn back up and make a C, like this, A, B, C, and then turn back down. Or if this right here is already made an A, B, C, and now it's just continuing down, then it's pretty much just going to turn into a bonus trade, and it's most likely will just keep on trending. So I am definitely still looking for shorts in a downtrend on this one also. So it looks like things are moving. The dollar is moving today for some reason. That euro dollar is looking almost like a perfect end of a correction. The pound dollar is cranking. There's definitely something going on with the pound. And you can tell that it's more the euro and the pound moving, not so much the dollar, because if you look at some of these other pairs, they're not really moving. Except for the Swiss and the yen, because that's a risk-on thing. So it's more like the euro and the pound, and then the other ones are moving because it's a risk-on move, which means that money is flowing out of the stock, out of the dollar, and going into other places like gold, Swiss, and yens. So definitely looks like a decent little move down for sure. So let's go check out some yen pairs. Like I said, we definitely have some yen movement today, so let's check that out. So on the euro yen, the daily time frame, very clear three ways down, right to the 38% Fibonacci, impulsive up. I think this is going to break out of this level, probably break out at 100% and just keep on trending. So I am definitely looking for longs on sort of time frames on this. Going down to the 4 hour, you can see a downtrend for the A, you can see three ways up for the B, you can see a downtrend for the C. Definitely respected the 38%, made an impulsive move up, broke structure to the upside, and ever since it did that, it has not broken structure down. It's been making higher lows the whole time. I don't think there's any reason to think this is over. I think it's just going to keep on trending. So that tells me that I am definitely looking for pullbacks on sort of time frames. So look at this. 1, 2, 3 ways down, impulsive up, and then there it goes. 1, 2, 3 ways down, go long. That's kind of like 1, 2, 3 there, go long. ABC down, go long. ABC down, go long. So the trend is definitely still up. So if I see more three-way pullbacks, then I'm definitely going to continue to look for longs in an uptrend, for what's going to end up most likely being a very big uptrend, I believe. So the pound dollar, let's go, the pound yen that is, let's head back up to the daily. So the pound yen did break out of this area. I think it's going to keep going. I think it's going to probably have some resistance around that fib level, but I think it's more likely that it will just keep on trending up. I don't really see any reason to think that this one is over either, so we may as well just continue to look for longs on this also. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, it looks like a downtrend for the A, it looks like three ways up for the B, it looks like a downtrend for the C. Impulsive up, break of structure helped prove that the correction really was over, and as you can see, it's been making higher highs, higher lows ever since. I bet it's going to continue to do so, so I'm definitely going to continue to look for longs in an uptrend. 1 hour time frame, yeah, it probably is getting close to a pullback because it did break this level, but we don't really know that for sure. It definitely could just keep on drifting up like that. But if it does make a pullback, like a three-way pullback, and then another impulsive move up, then I would definitely just continue to look for longs in an uptrend. Just like the other euro yen, there's really no reason at all to think that this move up is over. Let's see, the Aussie yen made a higher low. Not really so much a three-way pattern down. There was one, and then it was just very overlapping, and then impulsive up with a break of structure. That looks like the end of a correction also, so I am also going to be looking for longs at the end of pullbacks on this one also. Kiwi yen has been very strong, a little clearer also. 1, 2, 3 ways down, ABC, higher low, up, break of structure, down, higher low, and now it's just going up, and I'm going to continue to look for longs at the end of ABC pullbacks for sure. So to see the Canadian yen, this one was a little tricky also, but the fact that it rejected this structure level, as you can see, and it did make three ways down, and then it made impulsive up, and then it made a higher low, and it is still going up. I don't really see any reason to think it's over, so I'm definitely going to continue to look for longs at the end of ABC pullbacks on this one also. So the Swiss is probably one of the best ones. We have a higher low, three ways down, impulsive up, three ways, let me draw that again. Three ways down, impulsive up, go long, three ways down, go long, three ways down, three ways down, and three ways down. Very, very nice clear entries this whole way up. You could have entered at the end of any one of these corrections and had all kinds of profit along the way. So let's see, we already did the dollar pairs. Let's go check out the commodities. Let's look at oil. Ooh, what's going on with oil? This one can be a little tricky. I'm still kind of going back and forth whether this really is the end of an ABC correction right here, or the end of a wave A, and now we're going out to make like an AAE, a B, and a C. It still looks like it is. It's definitely a little trickier, so sure. Let's head down to the sort of time frames. Oh, we had a break of structure, and then price rejected that structure level. That's actually maybe a good sign that maybe it is really going to go up. When you see a break of structure and price reject it like that, that's usually a pretty good sign that it's going up. So maybe that was just like a little final wave C right there, or maybe that was just a pullback in a bigger trend, which is probably more likely, because it definitely did make 3 waves down. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. This is 3 waves down. That's probably an ABC correction right there. I personally don't trade oil, but this one does seem to make some really big swings, and I think that there's definitely no reason to do anything besides looking for longs in an uptrend. If I see any more pullbacks, those are definitely the trades I'm looking for the continuation of that uptrend for sure. So let's see. Let me just check and see if there's any more requests. We did oil. I don't really know for sure that the euro yen is in a wave 5. Let me switch back for 1 second just because I have a question on that. Because if you look at the daily time frames, if this is an ABC correction, which I think it is, an ABC correction will take out the high, because that's what happens at the end of an ABC. You have 3 waves down, you have impulsive up. At the end of an ABC correction, it will take out the high of the previous trend. Now, what we were looking at on the on the 1 hour time frame, it definitely could be a wave 5. It definitely could be like a 1, 2, maybe a 3, 4, 5. But we don't really know for sure if that's what it is, and honestly, it really could just keep on drifting up like that. So I would be very, very cautious with this. Instead of trying to go short, like I always say, if we were just scaling into longs every time we saw a pullback, we'd probably be a lot better off, maybe. It's kind of tricky. Like I said, I never ever really counter trend trade. Counter trend trade, it can be profitable, and we did just break structure, so a pullback is pretty likely. Now, whether it's going to go down and make a big wave 2, which a wave 2 would end up looking like this, if that's what it does, and this is like a 1, that definitely could be a possibility. But we don't really know. And the fact that it ended in ABC correction on the daily, and the daily is our roadmap, because the daily is very clearly 3 waves down, tells me that this is going to take out that high. Now, how it gets there, whether it does this, or whether it just keeps on drifting up, I guess is a different story. It does seem like you would have some sort of a wave 2 in there, on the shorter time frames, like the 1 hour. So it still does seem likely that this could go down and make like a wave 2 and then go up and make a wave 3. If it does do that, then that's probably going to happen on all the yen pairs. Oh yeah, the pound yen is definitely looking like a wave 5. And the Aussie yen doesn't really look like that. The Kiwi yen definitely looks like a wave 5, getting ready to go down maybe. Yeah, the Canadian yen, I was almost thinking that this was trying to make an ABC and then go down and then go up again like that. So that would kind of fit. And the Swiss yen doesn't really look like a wave 5, but that's because the euro is moving so much. So it definitely could end up being a wave 5 of 1, but like I said, with the daily time frame, it very easily could end up looking like that. Tomorrow's candle like this, and then like that, and then maybe up here make a pullback and then just keep on going. We have to be careful. Like I always say, like I personally really stay away from those counter trend trades, because when you have the end of an ABC correction, even though you might have a good, supply support zone in here or something like that, what is supposed to happen at the end of an ABC correction is it's supposed to go up, it's supposed to take out the previous high and make a brand new uptrend. So we do have to be a little careful on that. And then the oil is kind of a tough one. Trying to figure out if this really is going to go up or not. Really, there's no confirmation that it's going up on the monthly or the weekly. They're both still in a downtrend. The daily doesn't even have any confirmation it's going up yet, really. I mean, the last major swing is up here. Even this downtrend right here doesn't have a break of structure yet. So that's why, even though it looks like it should go up and make an A, B, C, or B, the fact that it hasn't broken any structure tells me that it just as easily could go down again. Kind of a tough pattern. Because if this was a wave 3, then if this is a wave 3, it needs to start getting stronger. If it's not a wave 3, then it's probably going to end up actually going down again. Like I was saying, that looks more like a wave A to me. But then this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. and then it looks like it made 3 ways down, and so I'm still kind of sticking to the idea that it's going to go up, but it's definitely a little bit of a tough pattern. I could see it going down too. And the fact is that it definitely made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways up, and it definitely made 3 ways down, and with a break of structure, it kind of looks to me like it's heading up. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like a trend for sure. This is definitely a trend. That's definitely a correction. That's definitely a trend. That's definitely a correction. That's definitely a trend. And this looks like a correction to this whole move up. So maybe this is going to now go up like that. It definitely looks like it should. Yeah, let's take a look at natural gas too, see what's up with that thing. Oh wow, look at that dump. That's a big old dump that it's doing today. Look at that on the daily, man. Natural gas does not want to go up, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2, 1, 2, 3. I still feel like there's a wave 5 in here someplace, like a wave 5 of wave 3. There's no way that that's a wave 4 already. It's way too small to be a wave 4, so maybe it is going to go up and make that wave 4 pattern like we're expecting, and it's just fluctuating on the sort of time frames. But it's really struggling to go down. I don't know why, but it is. Even though it's struggling to go up, I mean, really struggling to go up. It's probably a wave 5 though. It is definitely 3 waves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we would do now is probably get rid of this and put a new Fibonacci on there from top to bottom. Definitely very strong down. So maybe this is a wave A. Most wave A's do take out the low of wave 4, so that might continue down a little more and then go up and make a B and then down and then back up again. Maybe it's like a wave 1 and a wave 2 and then a wave 3 of wave A. That seems like the most likely thing. And an ABC, like this right here would be the wave 1 and this would probably be a wave 2. A, B, C, and then up again. That does seem like what should be happening according to the longer time frames. So as we go down to the shorter time frames, that's what we should try to keep in mind. Probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. Probably going to make 3 waves up for a B, and then probably down again for a wave C. Probably more likely to go down to the 50. I guess this is a pretty good area back here too, so maybe the 61. I would guess either the 50 or the 61.8 to finish the correction and continue the uptrend. Yeah, ABC of 2 makes a lot of sense, definitely. I think you're right. ABC of 2, which is part of a big wave A on the longer time frames, because this wave A should be around the same size as this wave 2, which is all the way up to this area. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, B, C. So maybe end up looking something like that for the 4 and then back down again for the 5. Definitely seems like that's what should be going on. Yeah, I think I have to agree with that one. I think it's probably going to make a wave 2. Seems like it should be. So let's go check out, let's see, do I have any requests in there? I forgot to even look, I got sidetracked. Natural gas, we already looked at that for Zuzi also. And oil, we got oil. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Now I'm either waiting to see if Bitcoin is going to close below here. If it closes below there, I'm going to say that that is almost definitely an ABC correction. And if that's an ABC correction, then it will go down and take out this low, like that. Or if it rejects this Fibonacci level, or if it rejects this structure level and makes an impulsive move up, and then I'm going to say that it's still in an uptrend, and it's probably going to continue up even higher, maybe to the 38 or maybe even the 50%. Because on the weekly time frame, It looks like a downtrend followed by, it kind of looks like a 1, 2, maybe it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. That would make a lot of sense if that was an A and this was a B and then it went up again for a C up to the 38 or the 50%, and then it ended up making another push down for the bigger move. I still think this is most likely going to turn into an A, B, C, or B, and then go down to, I don't know exactly, maybe like the 12.5 area is the area I've been forecasting for a while to make an end of a correction, and maybe by then continue the uptrend. Yeah, 1 hour daily, we don't have that clear breakdown yet. And it does look like it is trying to reject this level because it went down and then went up. And then this looks like 3 waves down, so it probably is going to make a move up. If it makes a move up, then that's probably going to be the end of a correction. Because it really looks like impulsive up. And then this looks like a wave A. That's actually very clear. 3 waves up, probably a wave B. And then this is probably a wave C. If that's a wave C, then that means that this is just going to keep on trending up and continue in the uptrend. Do you want me to go? Do you want me to go? I only got 15 minutes. So I would definitely be looking at this as a possible end of a correction. Yeah, we're going to circle back to the dollar pairs in a few minutes here. Let's go look at the stock market before we do. I'm sorry, the stock market is what I meant, the S&P 500. Sometimes the S&P 500 can give us a clue about what's going on the dollar. And I still think that this is going up. It definitely looks like a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave A. It looks like an A, 3 waves down for the B, and it looks like it's going up for a wave C, a B. And then once that's complete, I still think this fall we're going to have a big push down on the S&P, probably all the way down to about the 61.8 before it continues back up. So if that's true, we got to keep that in mind. So if that's true, that means that this is probably going to continue the uptrend like that to make a wave C, a B. And then probably go up and break this structure and then probably end up continuing the downtrend. 4 hour time frame, it's still going up. No reason to think otherwise yet. Maybe it will make one more push down because the dollar doesn't quite seem like it's ready to go back down yet. It looks like it wants to go up. So does that possibly mean that this is like an irregular wave B right here? Because I do see a trend. Is that a wave A and then this is an irregular wave B? I always spot these things, and sometimes they are wave Bs and sometimes they're not, but I do expect the dollar to not be done going up, so that means that this would not be done going down, and then it would go back up. So maybe that is probably the best scenario. We got a break of structure down. Maybe this is going to end up going down like that. Maybe the dollar will end up going back up like I've been expecting. It really seems like that's the most likely thing to happen. This is probably a 1. This is probably like a wave 2, and this probably is going to end up going down for like a 3, 4, 5. Now, what do we have for news this week before we go back to the dollar pairs? We do have some news this week. Now, this PMI news tomorrow, this is usually a really good opportunity to look for trades on the euro dollar because you have all this PMI all at once for different places, France and Germany. And then the pound also has its PMI tomorrow morning around 9:30 UK time. And then the dollar has its PMI around 2:45 US time. Retail sales for the Kiwi, and then official bank rate for the Kiwi Wednesday evening, Wednesday morning, depending where you look at it. And then we have business client. We got some people speaking in the UK. Oh, we got Treasury. We got that big the US dollar. They need to figure out whether they're gonna raise the debt ceiling or not. If they don't figure it out by the end of the month, then the dollar is gonna not be able to pay its debt, which is hopefully not going to happen. I'm sure they'll probably figure it out right at the last minute. So that's probably what this is about right here, the Treasury yelling. So that's definitely important news for sure. And then meeting minutes for the FOMC is always important because that tells what they've been talking about. Maybe can give us some clues about what the FOMC is thinking about interest rates. GDP for the dollar, unemployment claims, that's all good stuff. Price index is pretty good, and pending home sales, kinda. And then Friday is not really too much. We got retail sales for the pound and CPI for the yen, so I guess that's a good one. But these durable goods, and these ones are usually not really nothing too special. But consumer sentiment is a good one normally. So we do have a pretty decent amount of news starting tomorrow, for sure. So we are expecting the dollar to continue. I'm expecting the dollar to end up continuing its downtrend, so maybe it will end up doing that by the end of the week. So let's see. Let's go back up to the daily. So I'm still expecting the daily to end up looking something like this. It probably is going to take out this high, and then it probably is going to end up continuing the downtrend. I still think this is more likely to be a 1-2 and then a wave 3 because I still think this is a wave C back here. If that is a wave C, then it will continue the downtrend for sure. If it's not a wave C, then it may not continue the downtrend, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. And let's see, let's head back down to the 1 hour. So the 1 hour, I'm still expecting that the dollar may just keep on going up. I mean, it does look a little on the corrective side, but I think it's probably more likely that it's just going to keep drifting up. So let's keep that in mind. The euro dollar, like I said, has what I think almost looks like a perfect crescent. A, 3 waves down, B, and a C. It's definitely struggling to go down, but it looks like a crescent to me. And if it is, it will go down and take out that low, because that's always what happens if you really have the end of an ABC crescent. The pound dollar is doing really good. This is one of the ones I entered today, right before I started the meeting. We got an A, we got 3 waves down for the B, and we got a C. The wave C made a lower high than the wave A, so that's an irregular ABC crescent, and that tells me that as of right now, the pound is actually a little bit on the weak side, even though overall it has been very strong. And if that is the end of an ABC crescent, it will go down and it will take out that structure. So far, it looks really good. And then some of these other dollar pairs are not really doing anything, honestly. But I think this might be also already ending a crescent. I mean, this looks like a trend, and this does look like 3 waves down, and it does almost look like it needs to go up. But looking at all the dollar pairs, I actually think that this is a crescent to this. If that is a crescent to this last wave down, that means that this is going to end the crescent and end up continuing the downtrend. And I think the Kiwi is kind of the same story. I think it's, look how much it's struggling to get above this 50%. It just can't do it. I think it's going to go down. It's going to break structure. I think it's going to prove that this is the end of a crescent, and it's probably just going to keep on going down. Lower lows, lower highs. US dollar Canadian is kind of the same story, but it definitely made 3 waves down. It is struggling to go up, but it still seems to me more likely that it will keep on going. US dollar Swiss is kind of different because of that Swiss. But if the dollar goes up, I mean, this could just keep on drifting up also, really. I mean, it did break structure, but it's obviously rejecting it because it broke structure and then it's coming back up almost immediately. So that very easily could just keep on drifting up, even though it looks like it should be making like a wave B, and it looks like it should go down for a C, but if the dollar keeps going up, then this is probably going to go up also, and the US dollar yen, I think, is going to keep going up, even though it just made a spike to the downside, probably just to scare some people. Maybe grab a few stops before they rallied the thing back up. So US dollar yen, I definitely still think that this is going up. No reason so far to think otherwise. It should just continue to make higher highs, higher lows. And gold looks, I think gold's going down. I think this right here is the end of this move down. So that's like a higher high for the wave 5, and then that's a wave A. That's 3 waves down for the B, and then that's a C. That has an irregular wave C also, and I think there's a good chance this is going to go down also. I mean, obviously, if it goes up and breaks that high, that would totally neglect that idea, but until something like that happens, I would definitely be looking for shorts in a downtrend for sure. It definitely, to me, looks very bearish. So if anybody hasn't done so already, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. We have, let me check real quick and see how many members we actually have. We have 3,275 members, so this is the group right here, over 3,200 members. And we have a lot of very, very good traders all willing to help each other out, so definitely join. It's 100% free to join. No obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. But like I always say, I do offer a Patreon membership. If you are interested in learning more about my strategy, learning how I trade, then I do offer a trading course to my Patreon members. And I also offer private chats. I do a members forecast, and I do a whole bunch of other stuff for my Patreon members. So if you haven't watched that already, definitely check that out. It is very, very cheap, especially considering you get a course and members forecast area, and you get access to the private chats and educational information. So definitely check that out if you're interested. The link for that is in the description and in the chats. So it is Monday. Mondays are definitely known for being pretty slow, even though this Monday is actually looking out pretty good. Not only did we have some trades on the dollar pairs, it seems like, but we also had some really good opportunities on some of these yen pairs. And yeah, it does kind of look like they are trying to turn down, so that may actually end up turning down, but definitely had some pretty good day trades from this morning's London session. I mean, look at that. That was an awesome long right there. The pound yen had a really nice one, and pretty much they all had it. So really good trades. Not really any reason to think that they're over yet. It is spiking, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So far everything looks good for that. So we had some pretty decent dollar trades, hopefully, even though they're not played out yet. But it looks like the end of an ABC right there. The pound yen looks like the end of an ABC. The US dollar yen, I heard somebody just ask about it. I still think this is going up. It really doesn't look like there's any reason to think otherwise. The US dollar Canadian, I also think is going up, even though it's really struggling. I think there's a very good likelihood it will just keep on working its way up. So that is it for today. I do live stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then on Tuesday and Thursdays I do a Zoom meeting for my Patreon members where I teach my strategy, which is also included in the Patreon membership that I put in the link. So you get a course, you get 2 Zoom meetings a week, and you get access to a ton of educational information and the private chats. So if anybody is interested, let me know. You can contact me on Discord. Discord is by far the best way to contact me. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day, and as always, happy trading.